Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage. So it's been another minute. I told you guys in the last video it would not be 2 weeks until the next upload, until the next update on the cage and all. Well, if I get this up when I want to, it won't be, but if I don't, it will be. So we're right on that hairy edge because I've been feverishly, I've been working on the cage a whole lot. So I've been working on the cage pretty much every night after work, all my spare time, just trying to get this thing done. It's just very time consuming. So at the end of this video, we actually have a big engine update on the engine from Freedom Racing Engine, so stick around for that. But now on to the cage update. So as you can see, the race truck is looking a little odd. So in order to get to some of the harder to reach areas, I actually jacked it up here and then picked it up with the engine hoist over there so we could actually get in and weld the cage to the frame. So in the past week or two or whatever it's been, I got the rear cross member in. As you can see, it goes right into the slots that we cut into the frame. We also have our drive shaft hoop incorporated into it. So it's really like a nice seamless design, which I had gotten from somebody else that I had seen do this. And I said, man, that's a great idea. So that is fully welded. It's welded to the frame. It's welded to the cage. The cage is where it is going to be. That's why we had to move the cab. So that's all fully seal welded. And then up front, we got a light now so you guys can see a little better. But there's our rear cross member, as you can see, into the frame, into the rest of the cage. So on to the front. So up here in the front, we have our two tubes, our two outriggers up here. They are all fully welded. They're welded to the cage. They're welded to the chassis on the outside of the frame and on the inside of the frame. So everything's seal welded. That's all done. This cage is not moving anywhere unless the frame does as well. Now, down here, we still have to do what are called rocker bars. And what they will do is come from the back cross member up to these front outriggers, kind of square everything up, secure everything even more. But yeah, so that's all done, and that's kind of why I have the cage or the cab all raked up like that. Just trying to get a little more access, make it a little easier to get in there and weld. Without putting everything down, like I said, we have those rocker bars to do. The cage would, as you guys know, sit up here normally, but we got the top portion of our rear cross member, our rear cross in. So there's a big gusset, if you will, in the back here. So this one piece actually turned into 4 pieces, and that one's 1. Plus there's additional 2 that go down and then connect to our rear cross member down here. That's all made up. Plus, I also made the outer side of the funny car cage, which will go in here like this and kick down. That'll kick down to this sidebar, I think it, no. It's this one. I got a lot of bars floating around here, so bear with me. So this bar will actually go in here like this when the cab is down. And then basically what I'm trying to show you is there's a bar that comes down here that follows the funny car hoop and then comes and shoots down, because we have our 2 sidebars here, and then there will be another one here. You know what? Okay, because I don't feel like lowering the cab down, because we have those rocker bars to do. So here's our rocker bars that I was talking about. What we have to do and are made up is this bar right here, which is our door bar, I guess, but then our funny car hoop bar right here, that is also made up to connect to that, and then our kidney bar, which is the one right down here, which will connect there and then come down here to the right near the rear cross member. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. It's late, I'm kind of wrapping up here and just figured you guys needed an update, but that's the cage. We have gotten a lot of work done. Basically, to summarize the kind of rambling that I just did, all this is done. Once we get everything lowered back down, we'll put our bar in here. We can put a couple more of these helmet restraint bars, if you will, or head restraint bars, whatever they are. We'll put a couple of those going back to keep my head inside of there. And then we have the bar coming down. And really that, and then we do our X here and we're done. And as far as a 25/6 cage goes, if you look at that drawing, there are no rear down bars on the back of the truck. If you look at like an 850 cage, every 850 cage has rear down bars on the truck. Now, if you read the rules, the NHRA rules, you do not need those if you have a funny car hoop. So I don't know if technically we don't need those, even with the 25/6 cage, because it is not on the drawing. It's something I plan to do because it will stiffen up the chassis even more, make things more rigid and safer. So we are going to do that. Basically, like I know everything's kind of screwed up because I got the cab raised up, but they're going to come right off the corners here. I figure it's best to come right where this bar from the windshield / door bar comes. So if something were to happen and we had a front end collision, the energy would be transferred straight back. I think if you put the bar right here in line with the frame, I just feel like that's not as strong as kind of going at an angle. That's a little different than most of the cages you see. I know I have a lot of footage from UCC of a lot of cage stuff. I have a lot of video stuff that nobody else would be interested but me, of a lot of people's cages. I'm taking a lot of people's ideas, their thoughts, kind of tweaking them, you know, just seeing how other people go about stuff. So anyway, that's kind of the cage update. I know it was a lot of rambling. It's a lot of welding, a lot of welding, a lot of grinding, a lot of cutting, a lot of fitting. It's just a process. It's taken a lot of time, but more importantly, the engine update. So the engine has been ran and warmed up, which the head was retorqued for our fire rings. And then the engine was broke in and ran through its paces. So basically what the guys did at Freedom Racing Engines, there was I believe it's a 75mm smooth bore charger on that thing that was on there when we were there, what, 4 weeks ago. They just ran it with that on it to break it in. We weren't really going for numbers. I mean, I know I kind of wanted like a 2,000 horsepower number, but it's not like we're doing anything out of the ordinary or nothing they haven't done before. So really, they just wanted to break it in, make sure everything was right. There's no need to go for that. You know, there's no need to put the stress on the engine to try and get a number when you're just trying to get a number. It's, you know, at this point, it's kind of frivolous. We know, I know, and the people we're working with know what the fuel system and the engine can take. So we're good there. Anyhow, they broke it in, they ran it, everything's good, and it's been shipped. So the engine actually, as I talk to you now, should be here tomorrow. I don't know what that looks like right yet because it's going to my father's shop because he has a way to get a pallet off because it's like 1,000 pounds. I'm not going to screw around with doing what I normally do with scaffolds and engine hoists. We're going to get some pallet forks on some piece of equipment. They're going to get it off. We don't know what time it's coming, so I don't know if I'll be there to get any of it, but yeah, the engine's done. It's here. It's time to get this all done. Yeah, there is still a ton of work. It's like the more I look at the truck and the more I work on the truck, the more work I realize we still have to do. But this is the pickle we've gotten ourselves into, and this is the pickle we're going to have to work ourselves out of. But it is what it is, and as long as we're happy with the results, I guess it's all worthwhile. So anyway, guys, that's your little update. Probably just a lot of rambling. Honestly, it's late. I've been working on this thing, I don't even know how many hours tonight. I need to go to bed. Got work tomorrow. So anyway, get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck. I'll catch you guys on the next one.